are assholes.
You sound like you're in the studio or whatever. Let's just start hang out.
Okay.
Oh, this is the little box that said Hangout is online. The first thing that came up was Charles saying, "You are all assholes." That was perfect. That was beautiful. We're going to keep that in, by the way.
Can we keep that? Can we keep that?
We're going to keep that.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Geeks Around. This is the Geeks Around discussion of The Flash premiere. This is the first episode of The Flash, Season 1, Episode 1, the whole 9 yards. We're all going to pretend we did not watch the episode 2.5 months ago.
Yeah.
And Charles Whedon actually did not. He watched it last night, right?
Yes, I watched it last night.
All right. Now, we all gave our vague opinions of it probably a couple months ago in another hangout. From fresh eyes. Well, first off, let's introduce the panel. We're going to get to you, Charles, and we're actually going to pick on you just a little bit, but not in the normal way. But let's introduce the panel first. Andy, say hi, Andy, and tell us what you thought of the episode.
Goodbye. I love the episode.
Goodbye, you love the episode? All right, so apparently Andy's leaving. I'm going to block him right now. All right, Charles, what did you think of the episode?
Yes. I gotta say, holy mother of crap. I thought it was phenomenal.
Perfect. All right, good answer, actually. Isaiah, what did you think of the episode?
The Flash fan like myself, I actually loved the show.
Okay. And Knuckles, what did you think?
I liked the episode. One thing that kind of bothered me was brought up by one of Matt's friends and kind of stained the episode for me, is that it had shades of Smallville in the plot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you remember my reaction when he said that, right? I'm just like, oh, fuck. I literally dropped my head. I was just like, oh, my goodness. I can't believe he's painted the Flash with that particular reference. But he has. It does remind me a little bit of Smallville.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Smallville.
I don't like Smallville.
There's nothing wrong with Smallville except for the melodramatic romantic subplot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on. Let's move on.
And that's just it. We're seeing a little bit in that in Arrow, but we'll get there. We're going to get there, I promise. And I was about to turn right back around and address Charles and ask him about, specifically how if it felt for him. But he is not here anymore. So let's move on. Again, I am your host, Matt Moore. We got Andy Babak, we got Isaiah Mullins, we got Knuckles Goldberg, and eventually we're going to have Charles Whedon back. Whedon, of course, is the word weed man combined into one last name. If you want to buy your weed, find Weed Man.
Exactly.
I'm totally making fun of him while he's not here. He doesn't do drugs or anything like that.
I thought you were serious, actually.
Really? No.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaiah is now being sarcastic, and it took me half a second to recognize it.
Wow.
Wait, what?
So, where were we? Okay, beginning of the episode, of course, we get the first half of the episode, actually, but we don't realize that until about halfway through, is actually kind of sort of a flashback. We start with the Flash running around the city in the whole 9 yards, and we get kind of his, I don't know what to tell, but his telling of the story. Is starting to tell the story of how he came to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like, and we're just going to talk overall, please do not talk specifics, between that very first scene in which he is talking over his own action where he's running through the city, and to the time he's on the rooftop, and we're not going to give specifics of the rooftop, do you like the fact that that part was kind of a flashback, was a story being told?
Yes.
Isaiah is saying no. Tell us why you didn't like that, Isaiah.
Well, this is just me saying this, but it felt like I was watching another CW show, which is on CW, but it was just a narration. I hate that sometimes. Like, stop doing that. We get it. We know who you are. Just please stop. Just stop. That's all I ask. Just stop.
Okay, so that doesn't tell us a whole lot, but okay, sure. How do we feel about the age? How do we feel about the age of Barry Allen?
I can start with that. I remember last year when, yeah, I can start with that. Last year when it was announced, that he was playing him. I wasn't thrilled about it because he was so young. But then, I think that's what's working here because that he is so young. That's why the show is working so well, because you have a character you can kind of relate to. We're all, we're either close or far away from his his age. You can actually kind of connect with him in a way.
Mm.
And that's my thought is I always think when it comes to young Flashes, we're talking of course Bart Allen, but we're also talking Wally West. Bart Allen, of course, being the youngest Flash because he was Kid Flash originally, but Wally West was actually pretty young when he became the Flash. But Barry Allen was not a kid when he became the Flash.
Right, he was a human.
And so I don't know. It's kind of a new concept for me. But it works for me. How about you, Isaiah? What do you think?
I'm okay with the age because it was like
I literally chose the person with the best internet connection, and he's still it's like 10 seconds later. Go ahead.
I like how the age just works out. It works out like he's young. He starts building up his character, so it's gonna be really cool. It's like Superman. It's like Superman, but minus Smallville. I'm talking about the Lois and Clark one. Yeah, I said it.
Okay. Anyone else want to throw anything in about his age?
Tom Welling was young when he started on Smallville, and that turned into a fine show.
Yeah, but he looked much older than a high schooler.
He was 21 when he was 21.
Go ahead.
I'm fine.
I was just gonna say that in regard. But in regard to Barry Allen's age, I don't care. I really, really don't care at all because, well, this is a CW show. Everybody on the show is young. Yeah. Everybody.
There's nothing wrong.
Even
with
the
that.
older people look young. So.
Yeah. That's actually a very good.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that's what you should expect. That's what I'm just saying. That's what you should expect from a CW show. Is that everybody is young.
It's true.
That's true, and that goes all the way back to even Lex Luthor. We see Lex Luthor as a 19-year-old. I mean, come on, we've never seen that shit before. So yeah, you're right. You're right on that.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. How about anyone else? There was someone else speaking before Charles jumped in.
That was Knuckles.
And apparently.
Yeah, I was just saying.
I thought it was Andy.
What?
No, it was Knuckles.
No. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm going crazy.
Stop yelling, Charles.
Fine, is that better?
So, if you are willing to donate to the Kickstarter to kick Isaiah's ass, I am now giving half of my share to Charles's internet. Okay, so this is what's going to happen: is we're going to do a Kickstarter in which I actually fly to wherever the fuck Isaiah is, which I know is on the East Coast, and I'm going to throw him in the river. That's if we donate up to $700.
What did he
If you donate over $1,000. I'm gonna punch him in the stomach. Nothing. This is what we were talking about yesterday. If we donate $1,500, then I can afford bail, and I'll actually shit on his lawn in broad daylight.
Have fun.
The profit we make is going to split between 30% to Tiano, and apparently half of it is going to go to Charles's fucking internet, and the rest is going to go to me.
The Flash.
We were talking about this part of these conversations. Seriously.
Well, how about you have it later, and we can have The Flash.
So yes, if you want to see a video of me throwing Isaiah in a river after punching him in the stomach and then shitting on his parents' lawn because he lives at home in broad daylight, you want to donate to this Kickstarter. I
I've
probably
already
won't get
$5.
shot, but I will probably get arrested. And Isaiah's picture is frozen. See what his actual reaction is. But yes, we need to get Charles some decent internet. It used to be where we need to get Isaiah some decent internet, but then his internet got better until apparently today.
He's frozen with fear.
What?
Exactly.
Frozen
Exactly.
fear.
Oh, there he is! Yay! We have our one black guy back.
He
I was-
never left.
I was just combing my hair.
So I have a question, Isaiah. If I were to shit on your lawn, would your parents shoot me?
No, because we don't have any grass in the foot. We have no grass. We have no grass. We just
Would
don't.
your neighbors shoot me?
No, they don't care.
Would they call the cops?
Do you have guns?
Let me think. I don't like guns, so no. And yes, they might, but again, I wouldn't, because you're Caucasian. In their eyes, like, no, they don't care. If you were black, they're like, oh, let's call the police right now. Get your gun, honey, get your gun.
Okay, I'm just making sure. So I do have the normal, I'm white, I don't have to worry about the cops because I'm white. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I never knew that before, that, you know, white people have to manage the black people. I never knew that before now. That's good to hear.
Yep.
All right, so the TV show.
Yes.
Was
Oh my
it,
God,
was it, was it
I
a
hate
TV
your
show?
internet. I hate all of your internets. So the TV show, we end up having the overall story arc in which we see Barry Allen of not Barry. We have Barry Allen, of course, being Barry Allen, which is very not exactly quick on his feet, not exactly someone you want to have as a dance partner, for example.
Oh, right.
And being very flighty and being late, which is an overall trait for all of the Flashes.
Yep.
If no one who has ever used the name Flash has ever been on time for anything ever.
It's ironic.
Because, of course, between here and 2 blocks from now, sure, he can get there in like 2 seconds, but in that 2 seconds, he can stop 18 crimes. And he does stop 18 crimes. Because he doesn't just run from here to 2 blocks from here. He runs around the city a couple times because he feels, and this is an overall arc in The Flash.
Right.
He feels that it is his job to do so. Is if he can get there in 2 seconds, well, you know, so long as there's no crimes, I can fucking do that, no problem. Yeah, that's not a problem. But then shit gets in his way. The Flash is never on time for anything. And that starts in this episode, is Barry Allen shows up late to the crime scene, and he knows automatically what a tire that belongs to a Mustang Shelby looks like. Now, if you really, really, really know cars, you know that tire tread. What he was saying about the irregular tire tread and the wide tire tread is absolutely true. I had to look that shit up. That is absolutely true.
Yeah, he's very smart.
But no one that works in a crime lab is going to know that.
Which is
It's
weird.
like knowing the exact weight of a football. You don't know that. No one knows that shit unless you happen to be an expert in that particular field.
Right.
Charles, how much does a football weigh?
I don't know, about a pound, maybe a little bit less.
All right, so in any case, that's actually kind of my point. Is no one knows how much it weighs. That's actually a good guess. I'm guessing it's actually about 3 times that. If I were to guess, let's find out how much does a foot.
How much does a football weigh?
I'm gonna say like 3 pounds. And
Really?
14 to 15 ounces. You were fucking almost on the mark, Charles.
Wow. He almost hit the mark.
Seriously, you were a little too big, but not much.
Ha! 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 Ha!
So I am eating pro, and I admit it. But my
Because
thought
I'm
on
a
that is
genius.
No, you're not. Just stop.
Carlos, did you know that because you guessed or because you actually knew?
Exactly.
Because I guessed.
Okay. It was a very good guess, apparently.
Yeah, I got lucky.
I guess. You're just trying to show me up. I see. So my thought is that these small things in these specific fields of science, he's not going to know. He's not going to know how wide a fucking tire on a Mustang Shelby is. But apparently this guy does.
Right.
This guy has the encyclopedic knowledge to do that. In other words, like there's no other character in any fucking TV show or any fucking book that has that sort of encyclopedic knowledge, except for Sherlock Holmes and the characters that are made to reasonable Sherlock Holmes.
Right.
I just want to point that out. That was my whole point in this that Charles kind of fucking stomped on. Is there's no way that this kid could have known, oh, this is the tire of a Mustang Shelby, unless he knew cars.
Right.
And so that's kind of a big deal. Is he can't fucking make it to the to his work site on time, but once he's there, he fucking cleans up.
Yeah, because he knows his job like the back of his hand. So that was really cool. Really, really
That
cool.
is far beyond his job, though.
Yeah. That's 100% true.
I mean, do any of you watch the TV show Forever?
No.
Nope.
I do.
Okay, Charles, can you imagine that the main character from Forever, who fucking knows everything, would know the tire tread on a Mustang Shelby?
Well, Dr. Henry Morgan, I would assume that he would know a lot, and I think in the over 200 years that he's been around, I would not be surprised if he knew, maybe for a couple of years or, I don't know, a couple of decades, he spent that time trying to understand cars, even though we haven't really seen him do anything with cars. But in the time that he's been around, I would say it's possible that he would know.
Well, cars have only been around in half the time that I guess he's been alive for 200 years. And maybe,
250.
Maybe half of that time has car enthusiasm been a thing.
And that's just it. Is the Mustang Shelby was, I think, 1967 was the first year. And in that period of time, that particular character has been playing it safe. He's been trying not to get killed, if at all possible, except, when it comes to solving a crime.
That's
Trying
dangerous.
to keep a low profile. My thought is he is fucking Sherlock Holmes. He is Sherlock Holmes. Just like the character from New Amsterdam was Sherlock Holmes. They just had the added benefit of living forever, and that's how they were Sherlock Holmes. That is not their expertise. People do not study the tire tread on cars as part of a criminal investigation.
Well,
Apparently, all you motherfuckers are going to tread all over my, no pun intended, theory. But okay, so we'll move on. None of you agree.
That sounds like a good idea.
I seen for instance, people do rented on tire tracks and stuff like that. So yeah, man. I'm sorry, but
No, I'm gonna agree with Matt when you put it in terms like that. The very scope of that very specific knowledge would be outside of anyone's, not out of their understanding, but definitely out of their realm of knowledge.
I have a question. Does anyone in this hangout know approximately the diameter of
No, and I don't
the
care.
range of diameters for a bicycle tire?
no.
No, but you know what I know? I know that.
No,
About-
I can't even begin to guess.
About 2.5 feet. I'm just gonna throw a guess out there.
Go
like
on,
Charles.
Charles.
Right?
Your turn. Okay, so kids' tires can be approximately like as small as 10. The largest I've ever seen, and I used to actually work on bikes, is about 25. Is about 25 inches, and that is a huge fucking bicycle. So 2.5 feet, not so much.
Interesting.
In any case, as I was saying, specific knowledge is not something that everyone is going to fucking know.
Right.
And we need to get off this topic.
Yeah, we've been talking for 20 minutes.
Fuck you. So Andy, what do you have to add to this particular topic? Just this topic. You can't diverge from it.
I can hang up right now if I want to, and I will feel no regret about it.
No, here's the thing: is I'm actually teasing you. I want you to change the subject. What do you want to change the subject to?
For our YouTube viewers, if you would like Andy to hang up right now, please comment in our live chat Q&A.
You can do it right now because I can go to bed. Comment.
So we get back into the story, and we are talking about the story of the Flash, and not Forever, right? Okay, good.
Right.
So you have this guy who's perpetually late. He has a crush on his sister. Which, by the way,
sister.
It is his sister.
No,
The reason it's his sister is because Charles is no longer in the hangout. Thus, we can make fun of Charles again.
Yes. Oh, we can.
Charles, this was a very long time ago, was talking about how when they were first talking about casting, they were talking about Barry Allen, they were talking about Iris West, and he's all like, "Oh, I totally think that Barry Allen is going to hook up with Iris West," and it was so hilarious.
Yes.
You remember this? You
Oh,
guys
God,
remember this?
Yeah.
And we were all like, "Dude, that's his sister."
No, not in the comic books.
No, in the comic books, they're absolutely not sister. But
And look, in this version,
Charles
nobody
was so on lockdown at that point, and he's all like, yeah, that's gross. And we're like, dude, like, yeah, it's not actually his sister. Like,
Right. He
yeah,
just fell for it though, so easily. Like,
great conversation.
Yeah, I still don't look at them as brothers. I just look at them as best friends and so on. But no, but oh my god, I love the actress they cast for Iris, Candice Patton.
I do too.
She's
Yeah, I had a gut reaction to the fact that they made the West family black. I did have a gut reaction like Charles did, but then Charles reacted in such a way that was almost racist. He wasn't being racist, but it was literally a way that was like
Incorrect.
so extreme that it made me realize, you know what, maybe it can work.
Yeah.
it does
It
work.
kind of put me in my. So Charles, are you there?
Yes, I'm here now.
How do you respond to the accusations that the West family, Iris West and her father, that them being black, that you were being racist and being pissed off at that? Oh yeah, we've been talking about you the entire time we've been talking.
Yeah.
Are you? That's what we're asking.
Well, first, to be honest, at this point, with the whole West family being black now, I really don't care.
Oh, you don't care now? Really? Really? Are you serious?
Yeah. To be honest, I gotta say, I actually kind of like Iris West now in her current form because, well, she's hot, and
She's hot.
I don't know.
Okay.
So you like black people as long as they're attractive.
Bingo.
Wait, let's hold.
What the hell?
Isaiah.
You're trying to turn me into a fucking racist.
Too late.
Wait. Let's hold everything. Did you know about Iris West before they announced the casting of Iris West?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
I somewhat knew of her, but as I have stated many times, I have stated many times, I am not a follower of the Flash comic books.
Yes,
I mean-
but
I only knew about the most basic characters.
But you got so mad, like, oh, they're gonna change your black. I don't like that, dude. It's a
May I make a small
Oh
suggestion?
my God! Is this what this Flash discussion's gonna be? All you making fun of me because of Wally West?
No.
Here's my suggestion. My suggestion
Yeah,
is that we wait until the panel is over before we tear into Charles for not knowing basic DC information.
after this, I'm going to bed, for fuck's sake, so I don't even, tear him a new one right now, and then we can just keep talking.
But then he'll just hang and we won't see him again.
Yeah.
We need to bait him in to hang out with us, and then we can tear into him later.
Well, you know what? I want to talk about Joe West for a second, if that's okay.
Let's talk about Joe West.
He's a badass. I like Jesse L. Martin.
So, okay, so now we have, that's just it. We don't have much more story left. I mean, there's literally only like 3 other plot points at this point.
It's true.
We have him actually going back to his lab, and he gets shocked, but we almost see that in the fucking, the episode of Arrow. I mean, the exact situation happens in Arrow that actually happens in this particular episode. So we've seen it already. The only difference is this time, he actually gets hit by the lightning, where in the episode of Arrow he doesn't.
Wait, what? He got hit by lightning in the
Arrow, they recreate his creation in what I think it was the 6th or 7th episode of Arrow last season, or whatever. In any case, they fucking make that homage already. We've already seen it. We already know how it fucking happens.
Yeah, archive
For
footage.
the fans, we've seen it.
Yeah, we don't need to see it again. I'm just saying that too. Like, you don't need to see it again.
It's like, oh, the reason I was made into Flash is because I was hit by lightning. Oh, that's right. In this particular episode, the chemicals didn't come into place. But in the original story, chemicals came into place. The lightning hit the chemicals who hit him.
But they were chemicals. He hit like a big shelf.
Yes, after the fact. In the comics, it is both at the same time. I don't know, but in any case, we've already seen the scene in Arrow. The only difference is we don't actually see him hit by the lightning. So we see him hit by the lightning. He comes out of the coma like 9 months later. Basically, the next year.
Yeah. I thought it was funny that he woke up to a Lady Gaga song.
And a Lady Gaga song that apparently he likes because what's his face actually checked his Facebook.
Cisco Ramon.
Cisco, thank you.
Okay,
And that's just it.
Let me take over 1 second. Now I want to ask you, can you name all the characters on this show?
No, absolutely not.
You have failed this hangout.
I failed this hangout?
No, Eddie, that phrase would only apply if this was the Arrow hangout.
Shut up, you didn't know about Wally West until 5 months ago. You don't have a saying in this.
Let me see.
Okay, everyone, quiet.
The only 2 characters that I would not be able to name right now because I am drunk are the 2 scientists that work for Star Labs. Everyone else, including me, scientist who works for Star Labs, I'd be able to name. I only don't remember Cisco, and I remember Cisco now because we named him. And I think Caitlin, is her name Caitlin?
Caitlin. It's Caitlin.
Good
Okay,
boy.
yes, I know
Caitlin Snow.
Who's AKA Killer Frost.
So.
Yeah, then to answer your question, yes, apparently I do. Other than a detective, I don't remember Detective Pretty Boy.
Eddie
I don't
Fawn.
remember.
Edward Thornton.
Eddie Fawn.
That too. Edward Eddie.
But I have watched this episode like 5 fucking times, so.
He wasn't
Blue Eddie Fawn, I think, is going to become Reverse Flash.
That's another long story, Charles.
He's going to become a reverse Flash? Despite evidence? I'm not saying you're wrong.
What?
I'm really not. I'm just saying that evidence says someone else is. So I want to hear your theory because it might be right.
Well, no. The only reason I know about the whole Fawn, like, Reverse Flash, Professor Zoom crap is because I did research on the DC Wiki site.
Okay.
You do know the Reverse
I'm
Flash.
actually not making fun of you for once. I I think it's going to be Professor Harrison Wells.
Yeah, he is. It's
Or
gonna
at
be.
least I think that there's a good chance it's going to be Professor Harrison Wells, but I'm not 100% sure.
It is.
But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So of course he ends up getting his powers. He goes and he goes home and he realizes that he has powers. Does anyone want to add anything to what we've talked about up to this point? Let's say up to the diner scene where he sees things slow down. Does anyone want to add anything up to that point?
Yeah, I want to add something. This origin story, well, quote unquote origin story, feels like the Spider-Man movie origin story. Like we got like Peter Parker, and then he had like a bit by the spider. He was going through the same thing. So it was like a little. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because it worked. That's why they kind of adapted it here.
That is a good point. I did not think of that. Is the cafeteria scene in the Spider-Man movie, the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, is shit slowed down and yeah.
So
He
it was
did
like
that, blub, 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 and picked all that shit up.
right.
But Grant
That's a
Gustin
good
is
point.
cool.
I had not thought
Grant,
about that. Yeah.
look, Grant Gustin is cooler than Tobey Maguire.
No.
Yes, he is.
In general, I have to admit that Andy is right. However, in that scene, Tobey Maguire was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
It was a pretty fucking cool scene for Tobey Maguire. In general, you're right though, because that particular film series failed pretty miserably once it got to the third movie.
Yeah.
And that being said, the new Spider-Man movies are starting to fail as well. So I don't know.
That's why
We'll
they
see.
had to hiccup with Marvel, of course. Well, rumored.
So he figures out he has powers. He returns back to Star Labs, and this is where I start to have a problem with this episode. I am good at this point. However, I am a big meta story person.
Mm-hmm.
You have the idea of the hero, the true hero, via Joseph Campbell, is you have a character who has to face adversity, has to face his own father figure, has to basically Star Wars is the true hero story, as it were. Basically, nobody ends up facing adversity, ends up facing his own father, ends up becoming this hero. This is not the case with Flash. Flash is literally, or Barry Allen is literally dragged into a situation in which he has a multi-billion-dollar lab facility. He has his own crime lab. He has his own satellites. He has 3 fucking scientists who are there at his beck and call. And he has now, even though he doesn't know it, he is a fucking time traveler possibly working towards his interests. There is absolutely no one, and the most powerful superpower that possibly has ever existed in any comic book ever. This is not a person who needs to build himself up.
Right, he doesn't.
He's thrust into this.
He's like Batman, Superman, Arrow.
And thrown into one.
Yeah.
All
But
into one.
But compared to all of them, he's still better. To be all honest, he has better powers, better origin story, everything else.
Do you say he's more like the most powerful, like more powerful than Superman, just because he doesn't have a weakness?
No, because of the fact that I didn't want to necessarily get into this in the main portion of the hangout, but
I mean, just like Charles, I don't read the comics, so.
No. The Flash is the most powerful character in the DC universe because he can travel between time, because of the fact that he can face through fucking walls. He could face through Superman if he chose to.
He beat Lex Luthor too, the super brainiac Lex Luthor, and that was badass.
Felt that hard.
He is obviously faster than anyone else, and that's just it. Is if Superman threw a punch, why does Flash even have to be there to receive the punch?
Right.
He can be like, that's all he'd have to do is from here to here. That's all he'd have to do.
I'll say this:
million milliseconds to do it.
My only knowledge of the Flash before this TV show was some animated Superman movie where the Flash race around the world, and they end up doing a
That's
tie because they have to fight
Superman
villains along the way.
animated show.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
and
one of
that's
my
just
favorite
it.
episodes.
Same here.
That is a good episode. That is a good
It is.
episode. I need to show you some YouTube information where basically the Flash ends up fighting Lex Luthor.
Oh, it was
And
cool.
Lex Luthor is hurting everyone, and the Flash decides, you know what? I'm not gonna stop holding back. And the Flash destroys like Lex Luthor, like
Yeah.
you'd never believe.
Speed Force out the Wuzo, like wow.
Yeah, exactly. Like he destroys Lex Luthor in such a decisive way that he almost kills himself doing so.
It was badass too. Like wow.
Yeah. Like the Flash has every. If you can think of a superpower, most likely, unless it's mental, unless it's like taking over someone's brain,
Or
the
flight.
Flash can duplicate. He can fly. He can fucking phase through shit. So he can do Martian Manhunter shit. He can
Does
create
he-
fire. He can create ice. Like he can do everything.
Does he need oxygen to live?
He can. I'm pretty sure he can create his own oxygen.
I think that would be possible. Because he can't freeze him either, because the vibration of his own body is fast. It's like, yeah.
If he really needed oxygen, he could phase back and forth between two dimensions, one of which has oxygen and one who doesn't. Like that's how fucking powerful he is once he's matured as a character. So yes, technically he needs oxygen, but not really.
Right. However, the only person who's up to his speed is only Professor Zoom, and he's very powerful. I think he's a little bit more powerful than Flash, if I'm wrong, because he got.
I don't think he's more powerful than Flash. He's more mature than Flash.
Well, he's more skilled with
Which
his own
means
power.
he's a little bit more. He knows Flash's powers approximately 2 years before the Flash knows that particular power.
Right.
Is Professor Zoom starts to travel between time and fuck with the Flash. Right after that, the Flash knows, hey, you know what? I can travel through time. Like, seriously, Professor Zoom is almost his mentor if he weren't his worst fucking enemy. So let's see. So speaking of Professor Zoom, do we think we've seen Professor Zoom in this episode?
Yes.
And who do we think he is?
Cool guy.
What was that?
I'm not.
Hey, Charles, stop messing with your mic. Charles, stop. Stop.
I'm not doing anything.
Stop. Thank you.
According
Anyway,
according to your mic levels, you are.
okay, now back to what I was saying. It's the fake cripple guy. Yeah.
Do you think it's Hall?
Yep.
Okay. How about you, Andy? Do you think we've seen Reverse Flash in this episode,
No,
other than the
Professor
killing
Zoom.
his mom thing?
Professor Zoom and Reverse Flash are different. They're both different. They're not the same.
Okay, Isaiah, let him ask his question. Okay, so interrupt him.
I'm just saying, I was making some things correct.
Professor Zoom has been referred to as Reverse Flash too. So, hush. And Matt, what was your question?
Do we think we've seen that character in this episode, other than the killing his mom thing?
I believe that one of the cast members, between Eddie Fawn and Harrison Wells, is Reverse Flash.
Okay.
Can you? No, they have said that it's gonna be Reverse Flash. So shut
You
up,
can't put Reverse
Isaiah.
Flash and Professor Zoom. They're both different characters.
But Professor Zoom has been referred to as Reverse Flash plenty of
Reverse
times.
Flash is
So
for Wally West, though, and Professor Zoom is for Barry Allen.
So,
Ah.
are they the exact same? Like, okay, you
Okay,
do
there's
understand that Matches Malone and Batman are two different characters, but they're still played. They're still played by the same person, right? Bruce Wayne is both of those characters.
Yeah.
Are you saying Batman and Matches Malone are not the same person?
Hey, I won't say that one word that you love so much, but I'll keep it to myself.
Something that
Not
I
mute
believe.
Isaiah Mullins. Do not mute Isaiah Mullins. Mute
I
Isaiah.
haven't. Oh, you're talking to yourself. I believe that that if Harrison Wells is Reverse Flash, he's most likely Hunter Zolomon.
I guess
Or-
we'll see, and I think we'll see soon. Actually, I think we're gonna see who he is within the first couple episodes,
Right.
and I'm hoping.
I don't necessarily think he's a bad guy either. He could actually be. I've had some theories with some of my friends and so on, and we actually, some of us actually think that he is a Jay Garrick from the future or from a different timeline.
A Jay Garrick from the future. That would be counter to the comic books.
Yeah,
Jay Garrick be much older.
Well, it's called.
I mean,
yeah,
it's
not
still
every-
possible.
Yeah, it's still possible, but I don't see it in my own opinion. I don't see it. But again, it's an interesting thought.
And it is the Flash, so anything is fucking possible.
Hey.
No.
Shut up, Isaiah. If I mute you, I'm not unmuting you. I'm just gonna put that out
I
there.
didn't say it, man. I didn't say it. So relax, man. I didn't say it. Relax.
I'm just another white man trying to keep the black man down. I'm just saying.
Exactly. See? Racism up in this bitch.
So let's get back to the story. We have, of course, Weather Wizard. The Weather Wizard story is fucking boring and stupid. It's the guy who ends up being hit by the outpouring of the radiation, and now he can control weather. No one fucking cares about this fucking storyline.
I don't.
I cared.
You do.
I care for a different reason though.
But he was. This is just me.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. We're gonna come back to you.
Can we let Knuckles finish, please?
I was going to you first. I was giving you priority, and then we were going to go back.
No,
to
Knuckles. Knuckles. I wanna hear Knuckles.
right.
Listen first.
Oh sure. Just when they talked about the radiation spreading over the whole city, just made me think back to that Smallville thing again, where I think that we're gonna have like a monster or bad guy of the week being affected in different ways by the radiation.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Okay, so
that-
your reaction to it was, oh shit, we're going to have another Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy, what was your reaction? Why do you like that?
I liked it because, well, first of all, the actor has first of all been very supportive to my Flash podcast throughout, all the crazy months. But other than that, I like. Shut up, or No, but I liked him. The thing was the thing I was disappointed was that we didn't get to spend a lot of time with him, and so I don't want to say it's boring. I don't want to say it's that I don't even care. It's just that I would have loved to see more basically. But he was intriguing. I want to see more of him whenever he comes back.
That's cool. Okay. So we've got a Monster of the Week. And the Monster of the Week, Andy it sounds like is hoping is going to come back as a, not regular, but semi-regular, right?
Yeah, well, he is a rogue, so.
No, he should be forgotten. Let's forget him. No.
I will forget about you if you don't shut the fuck up.
He's like Vertical. He would be like Vertical all over again. Like, oh dear God, no, I don't want to see.
That is Isaiah's last name. It's his full name is Isaiah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That
Or
is
Isaiah
his
hates
full
everything. Or Isaiah hates everything. Either way. I don't like Weather Wizard. He was just so bad. He was really bad.
I actually have to agree in that specific phrase with Isaiah. I think he was pretty bad. However, that being said, we don't know that he doesn't have potential. Deadshot was pretty bad in Arrow when he was first introduced, and he did become a relatively compelling character. So maybe we're going to see more a little later. We don't know.
I hope not. I really hope not. I'm not joking. I hope not.
Wait, Isaiah? Isaiah, shut the fuck up. That's your last name, right? Shut the fuck up? You're not going to be in this hangout next week because you've totally said you're only going to be in the premiere hangout. So you know what? We don't need to listen to your ass.
What you do anyways? Because I'm here, bitch.
Show up next week and we might actually listen to you.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be here.
Yes, you will. You're going to miss me.
You're not going to be here? Why not?
Because this is taking too long time.
So, in any case, yes, this hangout has run a.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's only been 40 minutes, dude.
We
Our
spent
hangouts are
20
normally an hour.
minutes talking about attire. We spent 20 minutes talking about the fact that Barry Allen could.
There's nothing else to talk about in this fucking episode. We have that. We have him running down a fucking field and and being distracted by someone else. He fought fucking a weather wizard in which he had to run backwards.
Yeah.
Well, not run backwards, but run in the opposite direction. And that's the entire fucking episode.
Wait a minute. Is that even possible in physics? Like, can you reverse a tornado like that?
No, it's not.
I thought so. 'Cause that was kind of weird.
He would have to be in the air. He would have to be level with the actual thing that is creating the source of the power. And he wasn't. He was much farther below that person. But this is a comic book show, so we'll take it as
I
it
was
is.
really asking.
I'm so sorry, Andy. We're going to have to wrap this up after 40 minutes. I'm so sorry for taking your time.
Yes, Andy.
Does anyone have any wild speculation?
Anyone besides me?
I have a bit of speculation that is brewing. If you give me a minute, I might be able to figure it out.
How about you, Isaiah? What do you got?
All right, here it is, folks. Okay, Professor Zoom is that fake cripple guy who I can't remember his name right now. He's pretty much. Thank you. He's studying Barry how he does with his right now the current Flash. So he's studying him. You see what his again. This is what super bad guys always do. They always study the hero very closely, befriend him really. So again, let's bring back to the Spider-Man type persona, like how Green Goblin wanted to bring Spider-Man to his fold. Here, this doctor, whoever I forgot his name too, doesn't have to do that. He's just pretty much encouraging him to become this type of superhero. Until we actually feel like we don't know what his motives is yet, but I think it's gonna be very much interesting. I think it's gonna hold a lot of things because Professor Zoom actually made Flash's own destiny, if you think about it. So
in the comic books, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, in the comic book, yes.
All right, Andy, what do you got?
Well, this has mostly to do with the article that we saw in the end of the episode, with all those Easter eggs, with Crisis, and for some reason, Red Sky vanishes is supposed to mean something. It has to do something with Infinite Crisis, something like that. We also get Wayne Tech mentioned, which is kind of interesting.
Wayne Tech and of course
Green Consolidated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder what's gonna happen in the next couple of seasons of Arrow if we actually, it's obviously it's 10 years in the future, so it probably won't. Charles, let me finish. It probably it doesn't mean that we will see Bruce Wayne. It doesn't mean that we will see Wayne Tech. But that's a cool possibility. And even if it's a different Bruce Wayne rather than Ben Affleck, I think it was still cool to see Albert Queen meet some form of Bruce Wayne.
I hope Teen Titans is well in that same universe. Just saying.
Well, they're talking about it. As we speak.
Awesome.
Well, there's been discussions about it.
Well,
How about you, Knuckles? What do you got?
if you're finished,
Go ahead, Charles.
No, Charles, you go last on wild speculation. You know this.
Go last.
It takes you a little while to figure these things out.
Okay. I just hope that I'm wrong about the Monster of the Week thing, or at least I hope that they don't use it as a reason to have that episode, that they would use it very sparingly. That's my hope. That's my hope anyway.
Charles, I was joking. We normally put you last because you can't remember the shit that you wrote down at the beginning.
all right. Well, there's actually two things I want to mention. The first thing is I am surprised. You may have already mentioned this, but because the whole hangout on my end fucked up, I don't know if you'd mentioned this. But as far as I know, none of you mentioned the Easter egg about the busted open cage at Star Labs with the name Grodd on it.
Well,
That's
because
the point. We did not mention that. That's a
good
huge
point.
Well, that's because we had to talk about the tire in the beginning of the episode.
Yes, but
The tire.
yeah,
No, I'm not gonna-
I would have to say that my speculation doesn't have anything to do with Gorilla Grodd, because I don't think Gorilla Grodd is going to show up in the show, at
He is.
all. But
He
I
does.
hope he won't.
I hope he
But
does.
He's gonna show up.
He's awesome.
but but I don't know. I mean, I always thought the whole like super genius gorilla was a bit goofy. So
Really,
yeah.
really. Weather Wizard, Flash. Come on now. Come on.
Anywho, my speculation has to do with the fact, this is probably not speculation because this is pretty much going to play out like this. Barry is going to try to build up the courage to basically confess his love to Iris. And things are going to get really awkward and, blah, blah, blah. And
Everyone
what?
heard you just say Billy, right?
Yeah, he said Billy.
You said Billy.
But that's not what I laughed
What?
about.
I did not say Billy.
You said Billy.
No, I did not.
Yes.
You just said Billy
Just said
when you're
Billy.
saying I did not say Billy.
No, you said Billy. Billy is going to build up the confidence to talk to Iris. His name is
All
Barry.
right, fine.
Yes,
Barry.
Steve.
Barry is going to build up the confidence to talk to Iris, to confess his love to Iris, and things are going to get super awkward because she is going to reject him.
'Cause he's in the
And
friend
that's
zone.
all the speculation I have.
All right.
So,
My
yeah.
speculation is that Billy is not actually in this TV show, and that Barry.
Like,
No, I actually don't have a speculation for Barry. But my thought is that Harrison Wells is, and this is a wild speculation, because my first instinct is that Harrison Wells is in some way Reverse Flash or Professor Zoom, one of those two characters. That's my first instinct. But my second instinct is that he actually has access to the future, but that he is actually trying to create a better future. And that's why I was checking the news articles to see if that better future has been, the worst future has been averted. I think he's actually trying to help the Flash with future knowledge.
They're pulling the heroes, really.
Yeah, I think he is actually a good guy.
I don't think so. They're pulling heroes for villains like that. It's like heroes. But better. This is better than heroes.
The reason I think that he might be a good guy is because of the fact that everyone now thinks he's probably a bad guy, and I'm thinking that they might be doing the double bluff on us.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he's a good guy, and now we're showing no, he's a bad guy. And my thought is no, he's probably still a good guy.
I think he's a good guy too.
Yeah. Perfect. Do we have anything else?
Fantastic pilot, 5 out of 5. Can't wait to see next week's episode.
It was a 4 out of 5
Hey,
or a badass son.
that's actually good. So Isaiah, you say 4 out of 5?
Yeah, which is badass son. It was badass.
All right. How about you, Knuckles?
I am reserving judgment for future episodes.
Okay. How about you, Charles?
I'd give it a 4.7 out of 5.
I'm gonna have to give it a 4 out of 5, only because of the fact that I did see it early, and I really want to see Arrow tomorrow or tonight.
Not me.
Tonight now.
It was so good.
Fuck you,
That's
man.
good to know. Everyone else.
And that's the most that's seriously the most like heartfelt fuck you I will ever give you, because I'm a little jealous and I really want to see this episode.
Well, if you live to the East Coast with me, we could watch it together every Wednesday night.
Oh god, that's like nightmares.
Wait, weren't you gonna move to the West Coast? Weren't you coming out here eventually? You should come to Reno.
I'm perhaps coming to the West Coast next year, but but Arrow was good, y'all.
All right. So I'm going to close this hangout up. Approximately 50 to 55 minutes from the time it opened up, because apparently Andy does not have enough fucking time for this shit where you have to close it up early. This is Matt from Geeks of the Round. Andy, tell us, what kind of things do you want to pimp out? Because our internet was too crappy in the last hangout to actually pimp it.
Yeah, well, I do the Flash podcast over at theflashpodcast.com, and we just released our pilot episode just actually a few hours before we did this hangout. So, check us out.
All right.
Oh my
Charles, I know you
God.
got nothing going on, so we're gonna ignore you. Isaiah, what do you got to pimp?
Isaiah Zone, folks. Yes, my crazy luck and my crazy thoughts and my bald head and that knife over there. Yes, it's part of the Isaiah Zone. I talk about all the cool things that you like or dislike, and I hate them all.
All right, Knuckles, you got anything to pimp other than Geeks the Round and your own demented post? Charles just posted a post of a woman wearing condoms. I don't know where the fuck he comes up with these ideas.
I did not.
No, sorry, not Charles. Knuckles. Knuckles posted a woman wearing just condoms. It was fucking disgusting. I don't know where he comes up with these ideas, and I don't want anything to do with them. On that note, thank you for watching Geeks the Round. Check us out, geekstheround.com, youtube.com/geekstheround, and you all have fun. Thanks. Peace.